All right, welcome everybody to another wonderful week of Power 10 Sports Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Gibb. Joining me this week, the always lovely Erin Polsey, and the man with all of the hot takes, John Sacco.
Hello.
It's been a bit of we thought it was going to be a slow week for the news, but it kind of picked up really quick there. We'll kind of start off with the NFL. That seems to be our bread and butter with football, and we'll kind of move on from there. Starting off, we get to see Alex Smith retire. Wonderful career. I hope he makes the Hall of Fame just for his story, because that's kind of what the Hall of Fame has become. The story precedes the stats.
I don't see it happening. Like, it would be great, but I don't. Stats have to get you to the door. You know?
I don't agree with that at all. I mean, with your statement, not that Alex Smith isn't a Hall of Famer, but
yeah, I don't think that he has the stats to be a Hall of Famer, but I think the story is enough that the fan base will try and put him in, and we might see the committee at least discuss it.
The question is, what team would he go in for? Like, do you think the 2-3 years as a Redskin or a Washington football team member, or 2-3 years as a Chief, or the 2-3 years as a 49er? Like, he really did bounce around for a while.
I think that it would go in as Washington because that's where the story happened. And I think that was a city that very much embraced him and kind of was like, after the injury, we want to see him play. So I think that's where we would see it happen, and possibly be in a Ring of Honor for all three because he overcame almost losing a leg.
Yeah, I don't see him making it past the Ring of Honor for each team.
Yeah, but he'll get some sort of accolade with it. I would kind of want to see the Hall of Fame just because he overcame something that I don't think a lot of people could.
Well, that's why they changed the Comeback Player of the Year trophy to the, like, Alex Smith, whatever name. Like, he's going to go down in history for that. So
yeah,
I feel like that's probably as good as it's going to get. No offense to him. He had a great career.
Yeah. Wishing nothing but the best for him and his family. There's no shades being thrown. It's just kind of being a realist here. Also, we saw Julian Edelman retire, Kent State alum. So hopefully maybe I get to see him at commencement this year. He gives a speech. Stand next to him and feel tall. But the big discussion with this one, is he a Hall of Fame worthy wide receiver?
No.
Erin?
I think being a wide receiver is one of the most difficult things you can do to get in the Hall of Fame. Like, if you look at T.O. is arguably top 3 in every category for a wide receiver, and he wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. He wasn't a second ballot Hall of Famer. He was a third ballot Hall of Famer, and that was because Randy Moss retired right after him, which made him have to go in at the same time. Yeah. I think wide receiver is so competitive because there have been so many big people. Like, Jerry Rice set the bar so high that I just don't see – I don't see
somebody like Edelman that had a career that was 10 plus years long with 6,000 yards in it. But he did exactly what you expect out of somebody. What was that, John?
I said at no point in his career was Edelman a top 10 receiver. Not even top 15 in the season, I would say.
Yeah, and that's part of why you might say no. I see the case for yes being that he was a 5th-round draft pick. He's not. He's a 5'10" white guy that essentially caught it over the middle for his entire career. And we've seen similar. Austin Collie got demolished for years with the Colts to the point where I think he broke his neck twice in 2 seasons and just called it quits because
But that doesn't get you in the
little gun pass up the middle. Yeah, but I think it is he did help with the role of the slot receiver in that, and he does have 2 Super Bowl rings or 3 Super Bowl rings. And then a Super Bowl MVP. So that's the case for yes. The case for no is 6,000 yards in a 10-plus year career, 35 touchdowns.
Wes Welker or Julian Edelman?
I'd give it to Edelman over Welker.
Really?
I think Edelman was a better version of Welker.
No.
I think Edelman was like on the better.
Was a poor man's.
Yeah, he had the better relationship with like his quarterback. I honestly don't think Julian Edelman would be anywhere near this conversation if he didn't play for the Patriots. If he played for any team that didn't win a Super Bowl, he wouldn't be anywhere near that conversation. Yeah. Even if he was on a team that just won 1 Super Bowl, again, he would not be anywhere near that conversation.
The only keeping him in this debate are the rings.
Yeah, the rings and the MVP.
He is I mean, yeah, 3 rings, but what else does he have?
He, at best,
Great
not
cap.
to be rude, he's at best an average wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, and it is one of those things. I think he never made a Pro Bowl. He was never on the All-Pro team. So those are 2 other dings on it, that you were never even the best by the fans' decisions in your entire career. Right. So yeah, I don't think we see it happen, but part of me is like, it's gonna happen, much like Eli Manning. The records don't matter. It's just because the name and everyone recognizes it, that the Super Bowl rings matter so much. The fact that Edelman and Eli Manning have the same amount of Super Bowl rings, and we said Eli was in, no problem.
Yeah,
and Edelman does have an MVP over him.
A Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
Let's just say that there's a big ass difference. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yes, I know. I should have clarified that.
MVP.
Yeah.
Because you kept saying that, and I was like, no, he's not the MVP.
Yeah. He's never a regular season MVP. He was a Super Bowl MVP though.
Yeah.
So yeah, that he has that over Eli Manning, and we kind of said Eli Manning is a no-doubter Hall of Fame quarterback.
Eli Manning's also at a different position.
Yes.
So that's very big and very important in that conversation, because Julian Edelman was not calling plays. Julian Edelman was not the one reading the defense. Julian Edelman was not the captain being in charge of the team. Like, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, being a quarterback than it is a wide receiver. No offense. Like, I'm just saying you have to be, juggling all of the plates if you're a quarterback.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor in it. So, but it does seem like we've kind of all come to the agreement Edelman is not going to be the Hall of Fame. But I think knowing how it works and what all is going to end up happening, he'll end up making it in, because everyone recognizes the name and he has a Super Bowl MVP under his belt. There's only 52 other guys that have a Super Bowl MVP. So, and that's Max saying that Tom Brady didn't have multiples, and I think he does.
I'm just saying you need to pay attention to the Hall of Fame selections. Like, you're really into the storylines, which is great. Everybody, like, media loves story, but the Hall of Fame doesn't. They will sell the tickets even if they're not.
Or you're getting that this storyline gets you into the Hall of Fame. I've never seen a player that didn't deserve it make it to the Hall of Fame just because they had some good story.
Yeah, and obviously, because 5 years after your career, everyone just remembers the stats, and that's all that matters. That being said, guys like Erin James, who are 2,000-yard running backs, are still, do they make it or not?
Depends on the position. The position is very...
Yeah. Running back might be the one position that's harder than receiver to make it into the Hall.
But 2,000-yard seasons seem to be very much, for every other running back, you got 2,000 yards, you're more than likely going to make it into the Hall of Fame. Erin James is one of 2 guys to do it as a rookie. I think the other one being Saquon Barkley. So it's Saquon already is, he'll Hall of Fame, no problem. He has a 2,000-yard season.
No, he's not Hall of Fame. He hasn't had the career, the longevity.
He's not. I'm not saying it. I'm saying that it seems that certain outlets related to a mouse and certain outlets that are now owned by a mouse seem to really like this whole Saquon Barkley is already a Hall of Fame running back despite one good season and one injury season.
I've literally not heard one person ever say that, Gib.
I have.
For her, bring that up as you.
It's a certain Skip Bayless. I'll say it. Yeah, Skip Bayless did say something. He's like, he thinks he already qualifies because he has a 2,000-yard season and that he has such a high potential.
I don't think
he's saying potential in a 2,000-yard rookie season is enough to get him in.
If he continues getting injured and continues not playing, he will not be in the Hall of Fame. It's that simple. You have to have a longer career. What was it? Terrell Davis had a 6-year career, and people blew a casket saying that was too short to be in the Hall of Fame. Yet he, if you look at his stats, was one of the best.
That's your problem. You were saying Skip Bayless said this.
Yeah,
so
I'm not saying good people, well-informed people, intelligent people are saying. I'm just saying people are saying it. I'm not going to give credit to Skip Bayless saying he's intelligent or knows what he's talking about. He's just clickbait. He gets paid
to be outrageous. He gets paid to have.
Why can't we get paid to be outrageous? That's
because it just makes people angry. Honestly, show me one Skip Bayless fan out there. People just love to rag on the man. No one actually supports him. It's like skip.
I don't need any Drip Bayless slander.
All right, you found a Skip Bayless fan. It's John Sacco. Send all of your hate mail to him. All right. Next bet, we'll stick with retirement, move over to the NBA. LaMarcus Aldridge announces his retirement. And Damian Lillard immediately says they should hang up his jersey in Portland.
Yes. Hall of Fame? Maybe. I think he's the most likely of these three retirements to get in, but he definitely deserves his jersey retired in Portland.
I agree. Isn't he
I would
like
agree with that one.
all-time rebounding? Like, doesn't he hold that record at Portland?
He owns a couple franchise records.
So, like...
Yeah, I think he's automatically Ring of Honor for them. I think he might make it into the NBA Hall of Fame. It depends because their criteria seems to change very often. Yes, Erin?
It is not the NBA Hall of Fame. Let's get that straight.
What is the actual
the
name?
Naismith Professional Basketball Hall of Fame. That's why women go in as well.
All right.
It's like same with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, not the NFL Hall of Fame. Very different because the NFL wasn't around for forever. But it is the Naismith.
All right, so the Naismith Hall of Fame, I do believe Aldridge will make it. I don't know if he'll be a first balloter, but I think he will make it in his career or in his
his career, not
his life. Like I guess career would be the right term to use because his career ended now.
I don't know. People go in all the time after they die.
Yeah, you really. I was gonna try and tie that to Kobe, and you're like, even after they die, and I'm like, I feel guilty for bringing it up now. But Kobe Bryant will now be inducted into the Hall of Fame by Michael Jordan posthumously. And I'm part of me wants to get tickets and see it and go all the way to New York to see it. Or no, not New York. We just looked this up the other day, and I cannot remember where it is.
I don't know. Are you looking it up right now?
I am looking up Springfield. Springfield, Massachusetts.
I was going to say, all I know is all of the Hall of Fames are in like the Northeast because Williamsport. Yeah.
I would willingly go to Massachusetts just to see that. That is the only reason you ever see me step foot in Massachusetts.
Oh, someone hates Boston. Okay.
I really don't like Boston. Yeah. I'll say I have beef with Boston. You guys are spoiled.
Yeah.
Back to task here. So Kobe Bryant is presenting, or not?
Michael Jordan is
presenting Kobe Bryant.
And do you think there's any reason why they had him do it over somebody like LeBron James? And could it just be time played together? That the time span.
In the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you can't be presented by anyone who's not a Hall of Famer. So, like when Junior Seau was inducted, he was obviously no longer alive, and his daughter did a video, but the presentation of like his bust and everything that was by a Hall of Famer. So it might be the same rule.
Yeah, that we could hear LeBron speak, but at the end of the day, Jordan will be the one that gives the final award and presentation.
I imagine it might be like Mark Gasol or somebody who like was really actually super close with him, maybe Shaq. I don't know if it would be LeBron.
Yeah, I think if anyone will see Shaq possibly do it,
I think this is anyone.
What was that, Sock?
Oh, I said Jordan was someone Kobe looked up throughout his childhood. It's so obvious through his game who he tried to idolize or who he tried to emulate the most, and it would mean more to him than absolutely anyone else.
Yeah. I think even if he was still alive, I think Jordan would still be the guy presenting it to him. I think Shaq would be a close second, but I think, especially with having him pass, it's going to be Jordan. All right, and next bit of news, we're going to transition over to college softball. University of North Texas softball pitcher. Oh, I got to see what her name is. Hope Troutwine. Sunday throws a no-hitter, 21 strikeouts.
21 strikeouts.
Which is just so impressive to see that not only you throw a perfect game, but you struck out every single girl that came up to bat.
So she threw a perfect game.
Yes. As
perfect
as you could get. As perfect could get.
Dang.
All perfect games are no-hitters. Not all no-hitters are perfect games.
Right. That's why I thought you said a no-hitter earlier, and I was like, wait. Perfect.
Yeah, I think I did, and I still mix up the terms.
But 21 down, that is immaculate.
And the big question we had was it just like every single one was a strike, or are you going full count by the end of the game and you're on hundreds of pitches and your arm's just dead?
I imagine that it wasn't hundreds of pitches.
Not hundreds, up in the hundreds.
I still imagine it probably wouldn't be, because even full count, that's 15, like what, 6 pitches, or what is that? What, 6 times 3? 18 pitches an inning. Like at the very max, if every single person's going full count. I mean,
foul it out for a couple more.
Right, but I don't imagine every single player was doing that. Like I imagine, especially with softball, pitches have a lot of movement compared to baseball, or at least they have, a rise and all of that extra stuff. But I don't know. I feel like there are a lot more.
All right, so she is the only person to throw a perfect game in NCAA history. There were 2 other women that have done it. Alexis Osorio had 21 strikeouts in a game against Fordham in 2018 in California, and Cal's Michelle Granger did it against Creighton in 1991. Neither of which were perfect games, though.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not the most strikeouts ever recorded.
It is the only one that was a perfect game with 21. So that is something that I think she gets to, hang her hat on for a while. And yeah. I hope that she gets to do some more and do some damage.
Yeah.
Go with the mean green.
I was gonna say shout out to her defense too, but like if they're all strikeouts, what are
if they're all strikeouts? Her defense did nothing.
Yeah, and they stood there and they're like, "Hi guys, what are we doing?"
Went to the locker room after that win, which smells like bitch in here. I did all the work.
Honestly, if I'm an infielder, outfielder, anyone, and my pitcher's doing that well, I'm pulling out my phone. I'm gonna live
sending tweets in the outfield.
I'm walk up, start like talking with the other people. I'm like, she's got it. Don't worry about it.
Start ordering your dinner after the game. DoorDash, get to your dorm or something.
See if somebody can toss some stuff off the back to you. Like, hey, 2 hot dogs and a Pepsi, and just see if they can toss it over.
Gosh, I'd be so nervous if I were, like the first baseman or somebody who like routine ground ball on the infield, like throws it to the first baseman drops it, like there goes everything.
It's
like,
it's a gimme ball nervous. And they drop it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cubs player, did you see that error where it's like a routine ground ball, takes it, airmails it?
Launches the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, and speaking of baseball, I'd like to give a quick in memoriam to all of the baseball food and drink lost in games over the years. Recently, we saw the Dodgers fan lose all of the nachos. Ball just spiked straight into it, and he lost all of it. But all of the beers, all of the nachos lost by home runs and foul balls. Just got to take a moment to think about all of the money lost by fans, all to get a ball.
I mean, they really should comp you for those, because if you lose a plate of nachos, that's $11.
I was gonna say
losing a beer is 7 or 8.
I was gonna say you're basically poor.
But yeah, and then I started thinking about it, and I was like, this is the only sport where your food is at risk during the game.
I don't know, the NBA.
NBA, but that's only if you're like first 6 or 7 rows, where I don't think you're super concerned with losing your food because you have money to spare.
Valid.
So yeah, but baseball, like you could have those $8 tickets in the outfield, and then you've now lost your beer and your nachos, and you're out $20.
Gosh.
And that's saying it's the Indians game. If they're a good team, it's probably like $20-$30.
Ouch, that hurt.
Okay, let me rephrase. Not good. We'll just say large market team. I assume it's pricier at large markets versus small markets.
At Nats Park, they have Shake Shack inside. They have Ben's Chili Bowl inside. Like it's more than just your basic. There was a oyster place inside the stadium. There was more than just your basic.
Yeah, Cincy has Skyline Chili. Cleveland, I know, has Barrio. So yeah, there's always extra stuff, but I'm just thinking
the Shake Shack burgers, I don't know, $15. That's probably 13. Let's be realistic, probably $13. But at a ballpark, it's going to be more expensive, so I would say 15. And that's just the burger.
I'm sure.
That's not saying you get fries with it as well.
But that doesn't include the time that you wasted standing in line, because
the innings you missed.
Yep. That doesn't, moral of the story, don't get food at baseball games.
Yeah.
Just starve.
If you're going to do it and you see a foul ball, hand someone the food or tell them to catch it.
Or just don't protect your head, protect your food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've protected my head in a while. Like, I'm just like, it's not going to hit me because I'm looking up and I see the ball. But like, I know as a kid, I was always like, cover my head. It's going to hit me. Now I don't have to worry about brain damage. I already have enough of it. What's a
Don't
little bit more?
protect the kids that you're with. Protect the food.
Oh, there was the one guy that like put out his arm and stopped a bat from hitting some kids. So maybe stop bats if you're in that area, which I don't think you can anymore though.
Because nets go down.
Because the netting, yeah. So I think they've thought about the food. MLB listened to this one cry and said protect the food along the foul lines.
That's true. Just become really rich and sit behind home plate, and then you don't have to worry about, And most of the time, your food's included in those seats anyway. Yeah. So just spend thousands of dollars on those seats, and you'll be good.
Or get Loge tickets, and like, don't worry. Worst case, it just hits the glass.
Yeah.
All good points.
And moving on into some European news, the 12 biggest franchises out of England, Italy, and Spain attempted to make their own Super League, the ESL, earlier this week, with 12 biggest franchises making a midweek summer tournament. And there it is. There's some more. I just got the notification. It's already collapsed. Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Juventus, Liverpool, all of these teams decided to do this, and I just got the notification that Manchester United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, and Barcelona are all stepping out of this. So now it's 7 out of the 12 have already decided this is a bad idea. After UEFA, Series A, La Liga, Premier all say, if you do this, we're going to ban you from returning. We're going to stop you from having international play or any tournament play if you try and do this.
And the players themselves will be banned from playing on their national teams for things like the World Cup.
The World Cup and the Olympics.
Yeah.
We believe the Olympics. We never saw anything official about whether the Olympics would be affected by this or not. But still, it was a large amount of backlash was met. Some people were excited about it because you get to see the 12 biggest. That does not necessarily mean the 12 best. The 12 biggest franchises get to compete in a midweek summer league, which you don't get to see all that often. But a large amount of fans were kind of saying this is going to ruin the sport because all of the money is now being drained out of Premier and Series A and La Liga. So all the money is gone, then the talent goes with it.
It's the Big Ten without Ohio State or Michigan. It's the SEC without Alabama or LSU.
Yeah, you're losing the Pac-12's Oregon and USC. You're losing the ACC's Clemson and Miami.
Notre Dame this year.
You're losing. Yeah, I was going to lump in Notre Dame anyway, but
I mean, it would be a phenomenal thing to watch all those teams together. But if you're a fan of the conference or one of those other teams, is doomsday scenario.
Yeah, whenever a Champions League decides all of these teams aren't allowed, and PSG is now the greatest team in Champions League, running up probably double digits on every team they're up against because they were the most talented team that didn't decide to do the ESL. And all of a sudden, it's like, I don't want to watch it anymore. But it seems like it's all kind of fizzled away already. We're going to hear the last team step back now. So
after
I'm betting,
3 days, 4 days? Not even.
Yeah.
2 or 3. It was 2 or 3 days that this existed. That it went from the new hot shit to not existing anymore. That's like almost an XFL amount of time.
But I mean,
XFL had a whole season. Come on.
They made it 4 weeks and then COVID hit.
This is the biggest European soccer news in almost pretty much the history of their leagues. And it made it, $25 show after retirements and talking about how expensive ballpark food is.
Yeah, well, it probably would have been higher on the list had it not already started fizzling away.
Yeah, that's true. If it really wasn't already like
falling
dying.
apart, it probably would have been top of the hour. We need to discuss this. I don't believe that there's any other big news for this week. Remember to tune in later this week whenever we have Willie Nowak on to talk about who is the greatest of all time. We're really excited to do it. I think we're going to see a wide variety of answers on this. But remember to tune in, give us a like, comment some of the thoughts you have about ballpark food. Subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends if you want to. Go follow our Facebook and Twitters at Power 10 Sports. And as always, and if you don't like our content, subscribe anyway and just put all of your hate in our comments. We thrive off of that.
We'll respond.
Yeah. We're petty and have a lot of free time. We will respond to the hate mail as well.
Speak for yourself. We don't have free time.
What do you mean? You think I have free time?
You just said we all have free time. No, we don't.
That's an expression. And also remember to tune into the Facebook and Twitter pages soon, as we will be doing giveaways for the stickers, whether it be trivia or just kind of, hey, share this post and we'll pick a lucky winner. So that'll be coming soon, and we'll kind of meter that on maybe whether or not we do merchandise in the future. So remember to kind of keep engaged, keep involved. We appreciate everything you guys do. And that is all we have for this week. Thank you.